Man, I still can't believe this happened. You would have thought with all the knowledge that I have, I would have known this. Here's the reality. I could have died, and I'm not too happy about it. I highly recommend you staying tuned to today's video. All my years of experience, nor did I ever think it would happen, but it almost got me, and I don't want it to get you. Stay tuned. Well, it's so good to see you all again. You know, this isn't the kind of video that I ever wanted to really have to do, but today I feel the need to actually do it to let all of you know out there some of the dangers in living with propane and what could happen to you if you're not paying attention. If you're working with propane in your rig, in your RV, whatever it might be, today's video is going to be one that you're going to want to be aware of. Please share this with everybody. Everyone, in my opinion, needs to hear about this, see this video, and understand what will happen to you. Not if it will happen to you, not if you don't pay attention, but what will happen. So listen up, you're gonna wanna hear all this, even if it's boring. Before I show you what it was, I'm gonna tell you everything that led up to me figuring out what happened. All the key things to look for, so that way if you identify any of these things, you know you have a major problem. And I'll be honest with you, I've been working with propane all my life. I check everything all the time, make sure everything is in working order. I never let a day go by without looking at it. But this one got by me, and I'm not too happy about it. And you all need to know about it because, well, this could cost you your life. So to begin with, I will tell you, I had a propane leak. And you might be saying, Dennis, well, how hard is it to figure out a propane leak? Yeah, right, that's what I thought. But let me tell you how this started out. One morning I woke up and I didn't feel that great. My head felt like a brick, and it took me probably the better part of a half a day to literally go walk it off and get back to feeling myself. Along with my head feeling the way that it did, I felt sick to my stomach. Kind of felt like I was coming down with something, but not really. I mean, it felt like I was, but I could tell that I wasn't. It just felt like something was wrong. And I just figured, oh, I just had a lousy night's sleep. So I didn't pay a whole lot of attention to it the first day, or the second day, or the third day. Now, because I'm always traveling, there was a moment when I was working on a video at night, I smelled a little bit of propane. Well, what do you do when you smell propane? You check all your lines, right? You check everything and make sure everything is in working order. I took a spray bottle, I put water in there, I put dish soap in there, I sprayed it on all the connections, and I'll show you all those connections in just a minute. Not a bubble to be seen anywhere. I stuck my head in the cabinet that I have my propane tank. I didn't smell any propane. I have two appliances hooked up to propane in my van. I have the Wave 3 and I have my Camp Chef stove. No leaks, none at all. And I'm like, okay, well, maybe the thing, I don't know, I'm making stuff up in my head. You know, maybe the thing burped because I'm up and down in elevation. So maybe a little bit of gas got released and, you know, okay, no big deal. But I kept waking up feeling the way that I felt. And it took about a good week and a half. And I actually thought maybe I was going to have to go to the emergency room because I felt terrible. I mean, I felt beyond terrible. I did everything that you need to do except, and we're going to talk about the except, but I want you to know if you're feeling these types of symptoms, you have a problem. I have taken all the precautions, all the steps that are required to make sure that I'm safe. This one threw me for a loop, and what happened will be completely out of your control. It'll happen whether you're doing anything about it or not. I do have a solution to the problem, but y'all definitely need to listen up because this is pretty doggone serious. So if you say to yourself, hey, you know, there's just certain things that you can do to make sure that everything's working right. Yeah, not in this case. What wasn't working right was the piece of equipment that I used. And I wouldn't doubt if a lot of you didn't have this piece of equipment in your rig, even as we're talking. I don't hear anybody talking about this. This is something that was unknown to me. I'd never seen this happen before in my entire life. I'd love to think that it's a one-off, but I come to find out it's not a one-off. It actually is a problem. All right, let's go inside the rig and let me show you what I did and let me show you what you need to watch out for. Okay, let's go on in. All right. So right here is where I have my propane tank. So I have two appliances. I have the Wave 3 and I have the Everest camp stove. Both lines connected to a Y, and it's connected directly to the propane tank that feeds both of these lines right here. Nope, you'd be wrong. Wait for it. It wasn't the Y connector that went bad. Hold on, we'll get to it. It's coming up. So when I take the propane tank out to fill it, I'm only undoing this connection right here to do it. All these connections right here, this one and the other one, they always stay where they're at. These never get played with. All the fittings were fine, as well as probably if you check your fittings will probably be fine as well. But this is what happened. I moved this line a little bit, the long propane hose that connects to my stove, and I pushed down on it and it went psst, and it started spewing out propane gas. And I was like, what the heck, man? I mean, the gas just come pouring out of there. Your connection right here that's crimped down on the hose itself was leaking from underneath of there. Okay, here is the scariest part of this whole thing. Hold on to your seats because it sure did me. So what would happen is that in the evening when everything would cool down and I would go to bed, it would cause this hose to shrink up. That's why I couldn't find a leak in there anywhere, because as it warmed up during the morning and during the day, this hose would expand and close up any gap that there would be. The only way I ended up actually deducing what was wrong, when I found this piece right here separated from the holes underneath the cabinet. That was underneath the counter right there, feeding to the stove. That's how I figured this out. That should never come out of there. That's a crimp fitting on there. That should never happen. So even if you had a propane sniffer, you would have never have found the leak, because when it was warm in the van, it expanded this hose out so it would close off any gaps. In this case, it actually blew this end off. So that's pretty scary, knowing that the only time it's going to happen is after you've gone to sleep at night and this takes place. So after 2.5, 3 years, pitch those hoses, buy brand new ones. Cheapest peace of mind that you'll ever buy. Oh my God, I'm out of breath. That took so long to do this video. Holy crap. You know, I really just wanted to be able to tell you the story so that way, you know, if you recognize any of the things that I was experiencing, that this would be helpful for you to let you know what was going on. I could have usually cut to the chase and said, hey, the hose is a problem, pitch it out after 2.5, 3 years, but that would have done you no good. Look, I've been working with propane all my life and I couldn't figure it out. That's why I needed to tell the story. The reality is, this one you couldn't figure out because it wouldn't happen until after you went to bed. That might be the least favorite time that you want to have this happen, because while you're asleep, you're not smelling anything and you're being gassed. Pretty doggone scary in my personal opinion. Alright, vlog out. See you in a minute. I think I want to eliminate propane entirely out of my van. I just don't feel safe with it anymore. So I think maybe it's time to go. Now, what I'll replace my stove with, if I do it, is whatever that cooker that DeForest has over on his channel. That's what I want to get. That thing looks pretty cool, don't it? And to let you know just exactly how wonderful this van life community is. When I was having this problem, I talked to a gentleman. His name is Randy. Some of you might know who he is. His channel name is The Mobile Traveler. Go check him out. Anyway, as I was saying, the moment I told him about it, Randy went into his box, he grabbed a propane hose, threw it down on the ground, said, here you go, Dennis. Take this, I don't want anything bad to happen to you. And I'm like, well, thanks a lot, Randy. I really appreciate that. So Randy, if you're watching this, I want to thank you so much for being a good humanitarian. Thank you for helping me out. I greatly appreciate that. I really do. That was a pretty nice thing that you did for me. But yeah, so if that kind of gives you an idea just exactly how helpful, you know, the van life community is, or people out here living the nomadic lifestyle, that was really awesome. I mean, I don't think I've ever experienced anything like that in my entire life. No one ever wants to help anybody, but that's not the case out here, and Randy proved that. Okay, well, I hope you all had a wonderful Memorial Day. Little Jackson and I, we had an absolutely wonderful time. This place was not very busy at all. That was kind of bizarre. I mean, I kind of half expected for Memorial Day, this place would have been like jam-packed full of people. You know, a lot of side-by-sides, a lot of four-wheelers going by, but, you know, nothing too excessive, so I'm pretty happy about that. Keeps the dust down a little bit. All right, well, that's going to put an end to our little video for today. So I just want to tell you all, thank you so much for taking your time to stop by our channel today. It has truly been my pleasure to be able to bring this video to you, and I hope that you found this video helpful. If you did find it helpful, please click that thumbs up. Don't forget to click that subscribe button if you're brand new here. And until Little Jax and I, there he is, until Little Jax and I see you again, I hope that you all have a truly amazing day. Later. Okay, that's it. That's enough for today. Do you want to say hi to everybody? Oh, yeah, there you are. This little guy, he got a bath yesterday. Oh yeah, he sure did. Oh man, he was so cute. You know, it was a little frustrating though, because as soon as I got him all clean, he decided to roll around in the dirt. He got dirtier than he was before I gave him a bath. But next time I do it, I'll make sure I record it because it was funny as heck. Can you believe that it's almost the end of May and I'm still having to use the heater occasionally at night? It's still cold up here. And remember to shut off your propane tank every night before you go to bed, just in case something like that happens. Just a little safety tip. Pack it in, pack it out.